We started here in DC in 2003, and just last week had a big kind of rebranding of our organization and our look. We updated a bit. The internet looks a bit different than it did back in 2003, so we have a lot of new look and feel to what we do. So please, I encourage you to check us out at soundexchange.com, particularly if you are an artist and or a producer or an engineer or a creator that may have your work out there in the marketplace. We may have money for you. So that usually gets people's attention. I start most conversations when I'm at the conferences and whatnot like this to say, do you like money? Because we might have some for you. In a nutshell, Sound Exchange collects and distributes all of the royalties for non-interactive digital radio. That basically in English is, services like SiriusXM and Pandora, all of those services that you can't necessarily have interactive capabilities with your digital service provider. So you get whatever they serve up on their basic tiers. We also service kind of their more premium channels as well. But the bread and butter of what we've started doing is that non-interactive radio. And we basically administer the 114 license. I think Chris might have mentioned this in his presentation. The 114 license, which is part of the Copyright Act, which allows anybody and everybody out there that has your music for wherever they got it, whether they bought it or you gave them a CD when you were in college, or however they are lawfully acquiring your music, they can go ahead and webcast that on one of those 3,600 licensees that we service. As you see, the numbers kind of scrolling across the stage here. We have about 3,600 services that are operating anywhere from the size of SiriusXM to your neighbor in their garage may have a webcasting channel that they've put out there. They're allowed to use music as long as it's commercially available, and as long as they tell Sound Exchange every month what they played, and they provide a check for a rate that is set by the Copyright Royalty Board here in Washington, D.C. So every month we get these reports from those 3,600 licensees that list all of the tracks that they played on their service, and then they give us a check that's commensurate with that. And it's Sound Exchange's job to go out in the world and find all of those creators.